Okay, before going right into the sigma notation, let's formalize a little bit our idea of Riemann sums, and we're going to use a particular example to set up a Riemann sum for estimating the area under a curve using n subintervals of equal width. So first, a Riemann sum really is the sum of the areas of rectangles used to approximate the area under the curve. Two things happen. We need to do two things to obtain a Riemann sum. One is we do a decomposition of an interval along the x-axis. We break that up into n subintervals. And we can find the width of each subinterval. If we want them to be of equal width, then we use delta x to represent the width, and if they are all the same length, the width of each subinterval will be b minus a over n. Once we've done that, we sample a point in each subinterval where we obtain the height of the function. And we can do this in various ways, right? Because the area of a rectangle, we're getting the width, and we need the height of the rectangle. So we've seen that we could do this with, let's say, an upper sum. If we do an upper sum, we're taking the maximum value of the function in each subinterval to be the height. We can use a lower sum. We can use our midpoint rule. But we can also decide that we're going to systematically use the right endpoint of each subinterval, and that's where we're going to get the height. We can use the left endpoint, or we could just choose a point in each subinterval randomly and get the height of the function at any point that we choose in each subinterval. So once we have the height and the width, we can create a Riemann sum by adding up the areas of all of the rectangles. So let's take a specific example where, again, we have a downward turning parabola, 4 minus x squared, on the interval from 0 to 4. 4x minus x squared on the interval from 0 to 4. And this time, we're going to use n subintervals. Notice that I'm not specifying the number of subintervals. I'm just leaving it as n. And we want them to be of equal width, and we're going to use the right endpoint to find the height of each rectangle. So let's sketch the graph of the function first. And so we've got 4x minus x squared. This function has two zeros. One is at 0 and one is at 4. So the function looks like this. From 0 to 4, and at 2, it's got its vertex, so it looks something like that. Turns down with zeros at 0 and 4. So there is our function. Now, if we want n subintervals, and let's do equal width rectangles, so our delta x is going to be, well, it's typically b minus a divided by n. b minus a is the length of our interval along the x-axis. Here, a is 0 and b is 4, so the length of our interval is 4. So each width will be 4 over n, whatever n may be. We're going to keep that as a variable because I'm not going to specify the number of rectangles, so that eventually we can take the limit as the number of rectangles gets increasingly large. So delta x will be 4 over n. Now, let's take a look at how this divides up our x-axis. So here's our x-axis from 0 to 4. Here's 0 and 4. And I don't know what n is, but if I'm going to use the right endpoint, I'm going to need to find the height at 4 over n, because since this is delta x, right, we know that that first tick mark is going to be 4 over n. So to get our height of our first rectangle, we will get it at 4 over n, whatever that may be. Then The next rectangle, we're going to get the height of the next rectangle at 8 over n, because I'm going from 4 over n, adding another 4 over n to that, and that gives me 8 over n. So the height of the next rectangle will be at 8 over n, wherever that may be, and we'll get the height there. And so on. And we're going to keep doing that until we get to 4, which can be written in terms of n as 4n over n. So here you can see in this expression that 4n over n is just equal to 4 when the n's cancel. So we're going to start writing our Riemann sum. Our Riemann sum is going to be the sum of the areas of the rectangles. So our first rectangle, well, the width is going to be 4 over n, and the height will be the function value at 4 over n, since I'm using the right endpoint of each subinterval to get the height. The second rectangle, its width will be also 4 over n, but now the height will be at 8 over n. Similarly, the third rectangle, width will be 4 over n, height will be f of 12 over n when I've added 4 over n to 8 over n. And we keep doing this. I don't know how many rectangles there will be. We didn't specify the number, what n is, but then in general, the last endpoint, the right endpoint, and for the last subinterval will be f of 4n over n, right? That's where we're going to take the height for the very last rectangle. So this is our Riemann sum. If we want, we can see that every single term has a 4 over n, so I'm going to factor that out and write this as f of 4 over n plus f of 8 over n plus f of 12 over n. I don't know how many terms are in between, so I'm going to use an ellipsis there, and then my last one will be f of 4n over n. And now we need some way to write a sum in a very condensed way, because ultimately what I would like is I would like this to be an expression in terms of n, in terms of the number of subintervals. If we can do that, then we're going to be able to take a limit as n goes to infinity and find the exact area between the curve and the x-axis. So that's where we're headed. We're going to use sigma notation to be able to write this sum as an expression in terms of n.